What's up, guys? I want to go over a recent study that looked at minor league pitchers and the use of weighted ball programs or training, and the rate of injury and the total time lost due to injury. So there are 88 pitchers, 46 in the weighted ball group and 42 in the non-weighted ball group. Anybody who was in the weighted ball group also had not yet used any weighted balls in at least the last 3 years. In those 88 pitchers, there was 28 total injuries, with the weighted ball group having 8 more injuries than the non-weighted ball group. So for the weighted ball program, every 1,000 game exposures, which in the study was defined as if you at a minimum throw at least one pitch in a game, the arm injury rate was 11.8 per 1,000 game exposures, while the non-weighted group was 7.5 per every 1,000 game exposures. Where it gets pretty interesting is when they look at the trunk injury rate. For the weighted ball group, it was 5.9 per 1,000 game exposures versus the non-weighted ball group was 2.1 per 1,000 game exposures. Then if you look at the total time lost due to injury, in the weighted ball group, it was almost twice as much as the non-weighted ball group. Because of this, the weighted ball group actually had, on average, 11 few total game exposures than the non-weighted ball group. So the weighted ball group was actually sustaining more injuries with less total games played. Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting was that the average fastball for each group was about the same. Actually, the non-weighted ball group was slightly higher, and the average shoulder external rotation in each group was about the same, and actually the non-weighted ball group was slightly higher. I thought this was interesting because a lot of times with weighted ball programs, they'll attribute increased injury rate due to an increase in velocity or an increase in shoulder external rotation. But it's also important to note that this study isn't perfect, so before you just say, I'm going to throw out my weighted balls, it's important to note that it was only 88 pitchers. That's too small of a group to really come up with a conclusion. It's also important to note that in this study, 70% of the pitchers that used the weighted ball training program, that they were specifically using it to increase velocity, while 21% were using it for warm up, so just like warming up, and then 2% were using it for recovery. But the next question that really needs to be answered is, how should weighted balls be used? My theory would be not necessarily to increase velocity, but maybe using it as a warm-up or recovery where the volume's much lower, the frequency's lower, and you're not getting as many high-intensity reps in with the weighted balls. But generally speaking, especially for like younger kids, like high school, college, before you jump to a weighted ball program, you should really look at other things like, are you mechanically sound? Is your technique good? Are you utilizing the gym the right way? Are you using rotational med ball exercises? Really try to use every other option before you jump straight to a weighted ball training program.